Hi everyone, this is Julie Martinez-Hayes. I'm doing a quick video about the NOS 130 and 230, although it's messing up NOS 130's life more, settings for the live virtual machine labs. First, the news is that live virtual machine labs is owned by Practice Labs, not by Cengage. Practice Labs are based in the UK. They do have a North America data center in Atlanta, but in my personal opinion, it's never been their top priority, and it's never worked all that well. They say they have fixed a load balancing issue. So in the past, load balancing wasn't forcing client requests over to the UK site, the Western Europe site, and they say they've fixed that. So we'll see. If folks want to test it, let me know. Great. First thing about Cengage and Live VM Labs, they have some third-party cookie requirements that are a security hazard, in my personal opinion. What I will do is I run Cengage Labs, Live Virtual Machine Labs in particular, in Chrome, but that is not my daily browser. So I've got Chrome set up. No, we're not syncing. I've got Chrome set up to I clear the cache before I do all this, especially cookies. This will make you log out of everything you've logged into, so do it before you log in to Cengage. Let's go ahead and clear it. It's gonna kick me out of everything. And the other thing I want to check is third-party cookies. So even if you have it set to block cookies in a certain mode or block all of them, allow them for your sessions during live virtual machine labs. This is important. They need these to function. They're relaying data back and forth to data centers that are not Cengage.com. They're owned by Practice Labs. So it's a different company, so therefore third party. It's nested into MindTap, so these have to be allowed for the live virtual machine labs to work. That's key. Let me reload this. It will kick me out. I log back in. Yeah. And I'm going to open up lab probably from week 4. I'm just going to pick one. So that's the first part of it, just getting the browser set properly and cleared. So, user data. I like user data. The other part happens after, oh, I did not want to open this. Not the quiz, the lab. The other part happens after the lab is started and the domain controller is fully booted up. So we have to wait for this. This is actually taking longer, this stage, I'm sorry, checking server availability. It's actually figuring out where to send your request. Then it loads, and we're going to wait until this dot right here is a bright green. We want the domain controller up and running because if we try to check our user settings first, it will prompt us for information. So we want to go back to that and just wait. Yes, continue. We're going to wait for this DC to come up. Another setting you might want to check. Oh, there's my DC. I was about to show you this one. This settings gear allows you to pop up servers in a separate window and change their resolution if you need to. Also, folks have been using this setting, which is what the training video says to use, to adjust your automatic logon settings. There's an easier way to do that per server, and I will show you that in a second. I just Alt-Tab to get to my other device. Okay, now that the DC is up and running, we're going to edit our user settings. There it is. It's figured out where we are, and it's figured out, has the correct time zone. Oftentimes, if you haven't adjusted these settings, it will have something a little crazy. I have mine set to Western Europe. For today, we can change this, but again, it just checked availability and it routed our traffic a certain way. So we can pick West Europe, which has more servers. And you can pick whatever keyboard you use. Scroll down to save the settings. And we go back. I don't want to log out totally, I want to resume. There we go. So, on the server, it automatically logged us in, but there will be times when we don't want that. This is in the upper right, over here. You've got an ellipsis, and you can switch back and forth to the automatic login mode and then turn it off. And you can also switch the console mode. By default, you are using a remote session into this server, which means a whole lot of services are up and running before remote service can take connections. If you're installing something major, a major component, or rebooting the server for any reason, you won't see the reboot process, but if you're in console mode, you will see that. So you'll see it loading settings and applying updates, loading user profile, etc. So you get more information in console mode. It's a smaller screen, it's a different resolution. Have to log on separately. And you get information regarding the actual user. It doesn't display properly, especially with my work computer. There we go. But you'll just see slightly different settings. Also, when you're testing the group policy settings of any kind, group policy often applies to the console session, but not the remote session. So you want to just be careful. If you're expecting something to show up on the screen, a shortcut, a printer, and it's not showing up, go look at the console mode. You might just be in a different mode. It resets back. And we're back into console mode. I'm sorry, back into remote session. Slightly bigger real estate to work on. Okay, so those are all the settings you need to work on. I'm sorry, all the settings you need to be able to fix your experience with live virtual machine labs. I think one of the biggest things, other than the cookies, setting the third-party cookies and clearing your cache, is good bandwidth. So you will have a much better experience if you have a copper cable into an Ethernet port than you will over Wi-Fi. That's kind of a given, and it's true for a lot of virtualization. And basically, if your career is IT, then maybe that investment to make a $100 data drop in your house to the location where you want to get work done is worth the investment. Maybe that's something to be saved up for or asked for a birthday present. So you're a student now, but you won't always be. And many of you are already employed in IT. So start thinking about how to make your workspace at home have more bandwidth to get the job done. Let me know if you have any questions. And if this helped, if you were having trouble with these issues in latency and this solution worked for you, please let me know, because I'm keeping track of the folks who answered that questionnaire and indicated they are definitely having trouble with it. Okay, I hope this works for you and keep me posted. Thanks. Bye.